Hey, good morning, folks. It is a happy and sad day today. Sad because I'm losing some stuff, but happy because I'm gaining some stuff at the same time. Today, I'm going to be donating my ATEM Television Studio HD to my church so that we can upgrade and get some more connections. And so I'm packing up everything right now. So we're going to be switching out the old ATEM Television TV Studio, move that to the chapel, and install the ATEM Television Studio HD that I have here at the media booth. So let's go. Hey folks, AJ the CEO here. If this is your first time stopping by the channel, thanks for stopping by. And on this channel we focus on tips, training, strategies, reviews, and builds to help modernize your media ministry. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. Alright, so have to rethink through some of this. So I won't be able to take full advantage of me switching this out because that camera up there, right there, I need a 30-foot ladder to get to, or I can possibly do this with the remote control. Everything is set to 1080i 5994. So I need to adjust everything. That camera is the only one that I can't easily get access to change, but hopefully I can change the settings with the remote that's around here somewhere. Oh yeah, right there. So hopefully I can get in the screen and make the change to 1080p, and then everything else I can adjust from up here. So let's go ahead and remove this, and then we're gonna walk through all the components, because this is actually gonna go away, and I'm gonna slide this down in the, well, technically I really don't have to do that. I can slide because I have this Terranex shelf as well, I can just slide this in right under here, which I think that might make this easier and give some breathing room here instead of those fans being right up against each other. But let's go ahead and remove this, and we'll look at all the cables and some of the stuff that we're going to adjust here. All right, so like you see, we have 4 SDI connections and 2 HDMI. The first HDMI is going to this camera that's right here. There's the extension, and then the other one is going to our presentation computer, which is now coming from the up-down cross HD. That way the computer sees the up-down cross HD as a monitor, so the connection will always stay on. And then you see all the other connections. Network connection, we have the multi-view out, that's the sound in from this Behringer, which I need to get an adapter to fix. And then we have the program out and this other SDI program out that is going into this. So we're going to adjust a couple of things here. So let me take a picture of this where I know where everything is, and then we're going to go from there. All right, so the whole goal is to replace this, and we're gonna have the SDI out from the ATEM Television Studio HD is gonna go into the HyperDeck, and then from the HyperDeck, we're gonna do, actually no, I was sitting back thinking about that. I remember when we did this originally, we had the HDMI out from the HyperDeck going to the projectors. It was some lag because of the amount of devices we went through. So I think I have a converter. We're going to convert this out and go directly to the output, or I might have to get another adapter here. But anyway, let's switch these out and we'll go from there at least. Now I'm thinking I have a back plate that I have inside of this case that could make this a lot easier, so I can actually connect everything in the back. Thinking I might give that as well, because if I'm gonna do it, might as well do everything right in the first place. And again, we're gonna still use this. This is gonna go over to the chapel. And because we can connect everything over USB, there's no capture card needed. Because what I think I'm gonna end up doing is I'm gonna upgrade the processor one more time in this system so that we can run NDI from our streaming system as well. And then the 3200G is gonna go into the computer that's in the chapel, and then that'll be more than fast enough for live streaming and everything like that. So let's set this aside. And it's an opportunity to clean up all this junk that's in here as well too. ATEM television studio power, and there's the other remote to the camera, buried up under all of this. All right, so let's go ahead and pull the ATEM out of here. We're gonna set this all down so we can see how we're gonna have everything plugged in together. All right, so let's go ahead and unplug all of this. All right, so as you can see, this is where the Studio Mini could go. It all depends, but like I said, it'll be easier for me just to slide it in this place and just have them stack under each other. But let's take it over here and let's see how we're gonna wire this all together. All right, so here is how I'm probably gonna have everything just connected, so it's enough room for this to breathe. This is enough room for it to breathe. And the idea is what we're gonna do is, as you see, it has an HDMI out. We don't want to use that because that adds too much lag. The downside of this, there is no HDMI out from here. Now, I will try and hook it up again just to see what the lag is. Now, again, now that I think about it, I had the up-down cross converter in between this. So it might not be that much lag. So what I'm going to do is run for the program out right here. This is going to go into the SDI in here, and I might need to get a longer cable for that. All right, so I have the original cable here that I used, and actually it's the same length, so never mind. I'll just use this one. So we're going to do program out from here into SDI in. All right, so as I told you, the sound portion of here is not working, but the only thing that's really capturing sound is really not coming into the system at all, because we're doing sound directly from the soundboard. So yeah, we would go in here, but it's not that big of a deal, because really the only other sound that's going to be coming in is going to be coming from I can pull from the Behringer. So I'm going to use the Presonus USB kind of audio interface that I showed before. I'm going to put that here because, again, that's tech that works, that is just sitting at home. So I'm going to put that, and that's going to be the interface bridge between our sound system into our live streaming system. So it will be similar to what I'm using right now with the Behringer 5-channel mixer. All right, so what I definitely need to do is have a USB cable here also. But anyway, what we're going to do is we have 4 inputs here, and we also have the ability of having an aux out, which I like. So what we're going to do is we have, let's go through the cameras. We have the camera, the left camera that's right beside the system is right here. We have the Pro Presenter system that's coming in. We have 2 more HDMI inputs, the back PTZ, front PTZ, back stationary camera, as well as the right camera that we have right here. So we have 2 more inputs that, yes, we could run SDI. And actually, now that I think about it, I'm going to switch out the computer, our presentation system from HDMI, and with the up-down cross, I'm going to, well, no, I can't do that. Never mind. I was getting ready to say I was going to change it to SDI, but all of our SDIs are already used up. So it's going to be pretty much a transparent move. Our multi-view out is HDMI still, so that's cool. And I think I brought my SDI to HDMI. If not, I have another one at home that I'm gonna need to bring and put here. So with the other HDMIs, what the plan is to run the secondary stage output from ProPresenter 7 into this. And with the aux out, we can run this out directly to the back projector. So that would give us the option of saying, hey, back projector with aux, run stage display, or we can switch it to run the same thing that you see in both of these screens. So that's the other benefit of doing this. And that's 2. All right, so at this point, oh, and it needs power. Everything for the ATEM is connected. Wait a minute, I'm mixing up something. I have an extra HDMI cable. No, that's right. I think I plugged in the HDMI that goes to the projector. Yeah, that's what this is. All right, now we got everything. Now let me just move this stuff out of the way. And that is for our HyperDeck. This is out to the HyperDeck from to our live streaming system. Now let me see, am I forgetting anything before I start closing this up? This is out. So I'm gonna test this as the out from to our projectors and see if there's any latency with that. All right, so our HyperDeck, we're gonna mount right above this. This is where I'm gonna use the HDMI out to the projector. This is SDI in from the ATEM. Have internet access here. And actually this is out, not in. The purple is line in. SDI out there. And then we're gonna connect, this is in the way now, this to the line in. All right, so I'm gonna have to reach around here and get a longer power cable, which I have somewhere else. So let's go ahead and mount this and we'll go from there. All right, let's start it on up. All right, cool, we're getting power. All right, so as you can see, we're getting something from the camera over here because of the mic. So that's good. So we see that something is coming through, but again, no image is coming through because we need to change the resolution to these cameras. All right, so as you can see, nothing is being detected here. So I'm gonna have to go into the software and configure everything. Now, because it's on the network, I should be able to pick up everything using the setup tool. And yeah, it shows up immediately. So let's come in here. All right, the IP address is the same that was already here, so that's cool. So let's open up the control software and let's look at audio. So we're only getting audio on that camera, which is strange. We should be picking up reading audio from everything, but oh well. So now let's come in here. Let's switch out our settings to 1080i 5994. And see, now we have everything. So it was just the resolution wasn't being read in. So we have two more inputs, as you can see, which are available to us. Now I need to change that camera back. And the only camera that's not plugged in is the one that I'm using right now. But let me see if I can stretch this cable over so we can get all of that working. All right, there we go. So now we have everything showing up. Now we need to come in here and let's adjust everything. So we're gonna go into settings and we're gonna go to our labels and let's just start labeling these. So camera, this camera is our static camera. So we're gonna do static cam, so S-cam. Number 7 is our right camera, right cam. I'll do the whole thing. So R cam, and I'll write our camera. Now for number 6, that is our front camera. So that'd be F cam. Number 5, right here, is our back camera. So B cam. These two we're not using. One of these is going to be stage display. So I'll just say call this stage display. Call that STG. This one we're not using, so I'll just call this camera 3. Cam 3. Then we have left camera up there. L cam. And then we have PC. Pro Presenter, and I'll say PC 1. And actually I'll do this as PC 2. I'm trying to think of something not to get people confused. So I'll just do that stage. All right, let's save. Boom, everything's been updated. Now the layout that everybody is used to is with both of these at the top. So we'll switch that like that. That's what everybody else is used to. Now I'm gonna change the order of where all of these read. So it's similar to how we had this originally. All right, so we need to change these here. So this is where we're gonna do this as right camera. And then this is gonna be front camera, back camera, left camera, computer is fine. We're gonna do this as stage display. Change this to you know what, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this as static, and then this will be aux out. All right, so as you can see, now we have everything set up here, and aux might throw some people off, but we really don't use the media player here, so that's not really that essential right now, but the fact that we have all of the inputs, that is what's good. All right, so what we have now is the Presonus AudioBox USB. It's actually been discontinued. This is what I used to use to do all of my recordings when I was doing for choir and stuff like that. But this is going to be the interface to get past the broken audio XLR inputs. So what we're going to do is have XLR come out of the Behringer, which is converting the digital signal from the Roland M400 into this, and then this has a USB connection, which is where we're going to get sound into the computer. So now I just need to find another XLR cable, and preferably a shorter one. Alright, so we need to go ahead and get the drivers for this, and like I said, this has been discontinued, so it's not like, as you can see, it's not like you're really going to be using this anymore. And like I said, it's really transparent. I'm going to probably just mount it right over top of this, and nobody really touches this. So let's just download the drivers and get everything installed. OBS needs to be closed so it can pick this up, but that should be fine, and we're going to test out some sound here in a second. Alright, while I'm downloading the drivers, I realized I messed up a whole lot in this whole thing. Again, with the outside of the ATEM Mini, the older products, you need to have everything have the same resolution so everything can work. And I did that. All of the cameras can actually support 1080p, the computers, all that stuff. The part that I completely forgot about is in our streaming system, we have the ATEM Mini, which can only go up to 1080p at 23 frames per second. So I can't switch over to that without putting in a new capture card into the system, which I'm really not in. I'm not really going to do that right now. So good thing is keeping everything at 1080i, so it's really not that big of a change. The only thing that's really changing is that I have to add this audio mixer interface in between because of the audio not working. The XLR is not working on the ATEM Television Studio HD. So, but once I get that capture card inside of here, or I could always pull the up-down cross converter, put it back in here, that will work. But I really don't want to do that. So I want to make this as streamlined as possible. And even with this Presonus, I don't really want to do that, but that's the nature of how this is. So let's continue from there. All right, so we got the audio coming out. This is a long cable that I got it plugged into one channel. Now the bad thing about this is it will show up only on the left channel coming into your computer. So inside of OBS, if we go here to settings, first we have to set our audio and set the device as our aux mic input. Now with that being set, we come into advanced properties, and what we have to check off is use this as mono. So until I get both channels coming in, everything would just be on the left. So if I uncheck this, as you can see, we're only getting the left channel coming in. But if we check that off, we'll get sound on both sides. So I'm actually playing some music here on the computer, and that's coming all the way through like we traditionally would. So what we're gonna do is turn on, over here we need to turn the sound off on the deck link, because no sound is going to be coming through this right now. So we will set that volume down to nothing, or we can mute it, either one. And then we're going to turn this on to output so we can hear what's coming out. And there we go. So if we did this on the left, let me turn that down so I don't get in trouble. So if we do this just on our left, as you can hear, see, sound is there, but nothing is coming out of here. So that's why we have to run both of these right now, or we can just get another cable to run so we have both channels. But that's really not needed right now. So this is working. Now, it took a lot to get all this stuff done, but we're good. So now I just need to clean up this. We got this looking a lot nicer and tidier and stuff like that. I'm almost was thinking about placing this up under here so it's up out of the way, so nobody even pays attention to this down here. So I'm gonna move this over here as long as my USB cable is long enough, and then we should be good to go. All right, so as I do this, one thing, because the aux actually goes across all of the scenes here in OBS, I need to change the commands inside of our Stream Deck to do a multi-action, which will change everything. So let me see if I can actually switch this back. It won't work, so oh well. So let's go ahead and delete this, because this was actually our Be Right Back scene. So let me just make it again so we can show you how it works. So like right now I'm playing music, and because of Be Right Back, it's really not supposed to play anything, because this is normally when we have, as you can see, copyrighted music. This is when the praise dancers are dancing or something like that. So when we go to live, you know, we want to hear the audio coming in through the system. But when we go to Be Right Back, as you can see, the audio is still going, so that defeats the purpose of this. So what we're going to do is come into the Stream Deck software, and we are going to do a multi-action. So we're just going to right click on this, and the multi-action is, instead of just switching the scene, we needed to do two things when we press, multiple things when we do press this button. So we're just going to right click on this, move to a multi-action. So first we're going to switch to the scene, which is right here. That is what we want to do. But then we also want to do an audio action where we want to mute aux so that no sound comes in. And let's select the source. There's our aux, and we want to deactivate it so that no sound comes on. And I mean, I guess there's no point in doing, you can't change the icons here. All right, so we got everything here. So now let's change this to our new icons here, which I know I'm gonna have so much fun hearing from everybody that these are have been changed. And we're gonna call this Be Right Back. And let's put it in the center here. And I guess I can actually change this to the off one. Nobody's no. Sorry, I'll keep it as on because it just dims it a little bit. All right, and then let's crank the text up so it's real obvious what button that you're pressing. All right. So now I've already done a multi-action for the ATEM that will unmute the sound. So if I come back here, as you can see, the sound is live. That's what's coming through. Now when we hit the Be Right Back, as you can see, it muted the audio. So let's press that one more time, back to live. It's unmuted. Let's go to Be Right Back, and it mutes the audio. Now I did the same thing on the pre-live because we don't want to hear what's going on in the sanctuary when we're doing pre-live. So I did the exact same thing with a multi-action, and it won't do anything different because I have this as deactivated. So if I just happen to turn this on again, so if anything was going on here in the sanctuary, sound, music, stuff like that, it would do this. But if we hit the button again, as you see, it made it mute. So I'm gonna undo it again, press this button, and it just sets the audio to mute. So I think we are good to go. So here's our live. The sound starts coming through. The sound is working perfectly fine with the Presonus, which I ultimately just put right here for right now. And there's no need for me to search for another cable And now that I look at this, I wish I switched that. I wish I had put the hyperdeck under that. I think I'm gonna do that. So anyway, that's going. Offering, we keep sound with that, so that works. Be right back. Mutes the audio. Now I need to actually put another one where actually play music here, so I'm gonna put some different background music here, place this here, and turn that sound on when this is going. And then when we go to ending, there's nothing here either. There's no reason to have aux on, something like that. So what I'm gonna do, like I said, come back in here, add some music, and then we're gonna be done with all this. And then I'm gonna shift this down, and then we are good to go, even though this is where the other one was, the old ATEM. Now with this amount of time, then I'm gonna take this over to the chapel, hook that up, and we'll go from there. Probably this is going to take a lot longer to do over there, but we got everything. So let's do this. All right, everything is done. Everything is done over here. I need to get another USB cable, like I said, to handle the audio from here. So I have a USB that's going to the ATEM television studio down there. Then I have another one that's going to be sending and receiving audio to the computer for OBS and everything else. And I was forgetting the fact that this actually doesn't stream using that. I need to figure out a different way to handle that. It's been so long since I've done this. The USB just shows up as an interface so that it can be recorded. It doesn't stream, so I didn't think through all of that. But either way, we have more ability over here than we used to, so that's always a good thing. And because if not, that ATEM was just going to be sitting collecting dust somewhere, and glad we have a use for it. So now I have to find my, oh, there it is, my HDMI cable up there to connect the stage display to the new one over in the sanctuary. Find the USB cable, and then I'm gonna be up out of here. All right, so pretty much the day went on. I was at the church way longer than I thought. I didn't even get a chance to record the other part. That what I did is I actually ran another long HDMI cable into the ATEM television studio for the other for the stage display from Pro Presenter 7 to go into the system, which we were having aux. I will cover that another time. This video went way longer than I thought. I'm over here editing it now, and I forgot to do the closing out of it. So again, my apologies for this being super long. I will go over some of the other stuff later on what we did to make everything work, and I will test this out again tomorrow and finish the little things that I have left over. But if you hung in there with me, thank you. Appreciate it. If you like this type of content, I would appreciate a like, consider subscribing, and hit that bell. That way you get notified when we come out with other videos to help modernize your media ministry. This is AJ. We will see you on the next video later.